Hello, this is Chris Hammond with chrisdoc.com. In the last video in this series, I introduced you to my DNNSimpleArticle module. In this video, I'm going to show you how to get the source for that module and get it up and running and installed in your local DNN development environment. Now, before you do that, you want to make sure that you already have a local DNN development environment. And there'll be a link in the videos down below or in the description down below for a video on how to get your environment set up and running. From there, I'll walk you through a quick overview of that environment. I'll show you where we're going to grab the source code from for the module. It's going to be at github.com/chrishammond/DNNSimpleArticle. And then in the next video in the series, I'll come up with something else. But let's go ahead and jump right into it. So my development environment is a virtual machine in which I have DNN running inside of that virtual machine. So it's a Windows 10 box, has a local IIS server, has a local SQL server as well. So I've already got DNN installed. I'm going to go ahead and log into that instance with my host or my super user account. Now, once we do that, if we go ahead and wait for the persona bar to load up on the left side, I want to navigate to the extensions page so that we can see that the SimpleArticle module is not already set up and installed on this particular instance. So we can find the extensions page under the gear, the settings icon on the left, navigate to extensions, and if we scroll down into the alphabetical order for D, we're looking for DNNSimpleArticle, we can see that it is not there. Now, the module or the source code for the module exists on my GitHub account. There's a repo for the DNNSimpleArticle module. If you go ahead and navigate there, again, that is github.com/chrishammond, and then click on the link for DNNSimpleArticle. Now, what we're going to simply do is from that repo, you're going to click on this clone or download option, and you're going to click on the clipboard icon, which will copy the URL for this repo to our clipboard. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and load up Git for Windows. And in my case, I have Git for Windows and the Git Bash console. So I'm going to go ahead and load up Git Bash. So I'm going to click on the start menu, type in GIT space BASH, and that'll load up that terminal. Now, from there, I'm going to navigate to the desktop modules folder inside of my local DNN development site. Now, I keep my DNN development site on my C drive. So we need to navigate to the C drive, CD space C:, and then we're going to navigate into a folder called websites, and then another folder called dnndev.me. That is my local DNN install. If you've followed my previous tutorials, you will set it up just like that. If you choose to set it up somewhere else, it's up to you. I'm going to go ahead and navigate into the desktop modules folder. I can do that by typing CD space, and then I start to type the word desk. If I hit tab, it will auto-complete for me. And now, if we look inside of there, we should find that there is not a folder called DNNSimpleArticle. But now that we are in that desktop modules folder, we want to go ahead and clone the repository from GitHub. So I'm going to type git clone, and then I'm going to right-click, and I'm going to choose paste. And it's going to paste in that URL to the repo with .git on the end. So what that's going to do is it's going to clone that repository. Now, we were in the desktop modules folder. If I type dir again, we will now see that there is a folder called DNNSimpleArticle that has been created. If we navigate into that, we can see all of the contents of this the source for this particular module. So from here, I'm going to go ahead and start Visual Studio. Now, it's important when you're working with my modules and my templates for DNN that you start Visual Studio as an administrator. So I'm going to click on Visual Studio 2019. I'm going to right-click on it, actually, and I'm going to choose Run as Administrator. It's going to prompt us here. Do you want to start and hit yes? So we'll go ahead and do that. And from here, we can navigate to the project and the solution for the DNNSimpleArticle module. So over on the right side, we're going to choose Open Project or Solution, and we're going to browse to that DNNSimpleArticle folder. So again, that's going to be, in my instance, in the C websites DNNdev.me, desktop modules, DNNSimpleArticle folder. Now, when we navigate into that folder, Visual Studio shows us both a project file and a solution. I'm going to open the solution file here. And this will give us the source code for that DNNSimpleArticle module. And it failed to load. So let's take a look at why that was. If we go ahead and right click. Okay, there we go. So in this case, the source is actually referencing a file that I did, or a path, a URL that I don't have on this particular instance of DNN in this local development environment. This was the last time I worked on this module was in a different VM in a past life. I don't have that VM anymore. So I actually need to make a quick change to get this project to load. So I'm going to go ahead and click OK. I'm going to right click over in the solution on the right side. I'm going to choose to edit the DNNSimpleArticle CS_proj file. And I'm going to press Control F to find that, well, see if I can find that path. So that is not giving me the instance of IIS that I was expecting. So let's go ahead and just work through the problem here in real time as I'm recording this. So I'm not going to edit this out. You guys are just going to see how I go about fixing this. So in this case, it's not the project file that I need to tweak. And the reason I say that is when we search through that project file, there's no reference in the project file to DNNdev.me or 932-2.dnndev.me. So what I actually need to do, I need to change the, I believe I need to change the properties in the solution file. So let's go ahead and do that. Now, to do that, I'm going to go File, Close Solution. Now I'll go ahead and leave Visual Studio open, but I'm not going to edit this file inside of Visual Studio. I'm going to open up Windows Explorer, and I'm going to navigate to that DNNSimpleArticle folder. I'm going to right click on the solution file, and in this case, I'm going to choose to open with, and I want to choose another app. I want to open this file with Notepad. I just want to get it inside of a text editor. And let's see if we can find the path. And of course we cannot. So the path is not there as well. The DNNdev, DNNdev is not there. So in this case, let's go ahead and not save the file. And probably what we're going to find is inside of the folder, I think we probably need to get rid of either a user file or something else within this particular source, or this repo that was pulled down. So I'm gonna shoot from the hip here, and I'm gonna rename this VS folder to VS save, just to kind of throw it out and see if that will help me. Actually, it might not. I wonder if it's not this CS_proj user file. So let's try that guy real quick. I'm going to do an open with on that, and I'm going to navigate to that Notepad text editor, and here I'm going to search. There it is. So if I search now for DNNdev.me, what I find is inside of this, there's a start URL, and it's pointing to 932-2.dnndev.me. And the IIS URL is also the same, and the IIS app root URL is also the same. So I'm just going to simply remove the references to 932-2. Change all the references to DNNdev.me. Let's go ahead and get rid of that change I made to the VS file folder. And once again, let's try this one more time. So by the time you go to actually do this in my, by the time you go to do this and grab the source from the repo, I will hopefully have all of the source code cleaned up so you won't have to go through this process. But for now, I've cleaned it up. I'm going to go back in and I'm going to try to open the solution file again. Remember, Visual Studio is still loaded as an administrator, run as administrator, and my solution now opens. So I've got the project, all of the contents here of the project within this particular Solution Explorer. So in the next video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you all of what's in this particular module, what's in the solution, what's in the source code, how you can work with it. But we're right at the 10-minute mark now. So I'm going to go ahead and end this video and tune back into my next video for a walkthrough of some of the source code itself, how to package, and actually how to install the module there in your local development DNN instance. Because at this point, we have not installed it. We have brought all of the files down, but if we go into that host extensions page, it is not available for us. So this is Chris Hammond with chrisdoc.com. Thanks for watching the video.